We are the Nerdy Turtle Network.
Hello, welcome to the Nerd Turtle Network. Today we're playing Icons, Crimes, and Misadventures. I'll be your GM for the evening, or afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Jason. And with me as usual will be Zach, aka the Fairy Prince.
Thanks for watching.
Mike, aka Anyone.
Happy post-Valentine's Day.
Curtis, aka Black Dragon.
Hola.
And Taylor, aka Muscle the Muscle.
Howdy, howdy.
And who would like to give the review of last session?
I could try.
All right.
Yes?
I'm just going to say, speaking for Eddie, I'll admit it. Mistakes were made.
Well, we spent the issue scrounging up allies. Oh wait, that might be the last issue. Hang on. Was the last issue? No, last issue. Was
Yeah, last issue was a lot of gathering of reinforcements.
Yeah. Black Dragon got in contact with the remains of the Detroit Underground Supers fighting operation, which we had previously divested of their leader, Gang Rat, and he got a kind of a code reaction from that organization, unfortunately. Barry Prince and Muscle tried to contact the Crucible. They basically are greeted by the Crucible's flunkies, seemingly, of one of those mysterious council of robe-wearing what's-its. And whether the Crucible will actually help us also remains unclear. Anyone tried contacting Doug the Prince of the Council of Stage Magicians who are actually magicians. And he basically just
Uh-oh, did we lose Mike?
Oh, he kind of froze.
the advice on how to deal with a secret conspiracy that's just been blown up in the public. And I hope you can still hear me. I'm here seeing that my internet connection is unstable.
You froze for a
Up,
second.
down, then back in.
Okay. Well, yeah, Musco got in touch with Dyna-man, tried to get the Dyna family in on this. Oh, this is fun. Fairy Prince met with his Uncle Troll, voiced by Grubhub, who had basically married into the family by marrying one of Fairy Prince's aunts. He's got the finest goat herd in all of Fairyland. And Fairy Prince kind of entices him by hinting that he's making a play for the Fairy Prince, or excuse me, the throne of Fairyland, and this might be a good opportunity to get on the ground floor with the future King's Graces by helping us against the Hellfires. Musk also called J304 the artificial intelligence that was I can't remember. He was I can't remember. 304 was like embroiled in a lot of nonsense.
But the Hellfires are using him to store a bunch of their information and
that's what
and whatnot.
Okay.
But he was essentially trapped in that one base in the Alps.
We debated whether or not to use 304 as bait to lure out the Hellfires. Not exactly, but we may try to lure them out with the general promise of reapprehending J304 without actually putting 304 in danger. Oh, this was a big one. The Fairy Prince actually got in touch with his dear mother, just to cut a deal that that mom would not intervene on behalf of the Hellfires.
Yes, so she agreed to that. She would offer them no further assistance.
Then he also promised that he would arrange a final reckoning for his past crimes.
It's going to be a very lovely get-together. Don't worry.
Look, she's just mad because he ruined the rugs one time when he didn't wipe his feet. That's all.
Thanksgiving at the Fairy House will be fun.
J304 helped us out by locating a few previously undiscovered Hellfire properties.
Mm-hmm.
One of which was a large ranch in South Dakota. We referred that to I almost called them Shield.
Don't do that for legal reasons, please.
Definitely not an organization named after something that you protect yourself with. Absolutely not. The other lead we saved for ourselves, that being a small island in Alaska. I think we put out like misinformation that 304 may be in an old warehouse. Does that sound familiar?
That was an ideal y'all had. I don't think you actually did that.
We never actually.
Because he tracked down some likely spots for y'all to check out. Like I said, and like you said, you sent Spear after one of them.
Yeah. As for us, we gathered in Oregon for an incursion into Alaska, and did we actually get in touch with the Oregonian?
Yes, he was there chaperoning the entire time your guys were coming through.
That's right. We met at an airfield. We found a pilot who was willing to drop us off over the islands.
Mm-hmm.
Sanford, our good friend Sanford, a former stunt pilot.
That is right.
Oh, and Dyna-man brought the Indispensable and the Knockout Queen. Black Dragon did not. I don't think he got anyone from Gang Rats.
No.
Oh, I did.
His personal guys, his personal gang showed up, no qualms. Then you had some of the guys that wore, I forget what kind of disguises they wore. They were part of the larger organization.
I can't. Oh, they had like, didn't they have like gag masks or something like that? Or
Yeah. They had some kind of masks. Black Dragon's guys, if they weren't animal-like, if they did not have animal-like mutations, tended to wear animal masks.
That's right. Well, they turned out to be a big bummer because they blew up our plane in mid-flight.
They only blew a hole in the wall.
That's true. Sanford was able to make an actual landing. But now we're on the island.
But the help of the kids from the school.
No, it was the Primes.
No, not the kids from the school. The Primes.
Yeah.
That's right, the Primes. Sorry, I got mixed up.
They stabilized our flaming our compromised vehicle, and we were able to land safely because of them. And that's where we left off.
Though I do like your idea of us using child soldiers. Let's keep that in mind.
I mean, they're all that's left. Everyone else is out in space still.
It'll be good for them. Adversity builds character.
The Primes weren't really young. I mean, they weren't exactly old.
No, they were all like college age, high school graduate age anyway.
Yeah. Is that still Gen Z, or have we moved on to another generation yet?
I'm sure they'd be Gen Z.
Gen Z is just now getting drunk.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Gen Alpha exists.
But they're still.
But they're babies.
Yeah.
Gen Z's got catching up to do to get to Gen X.
Oh, Gen X. Oh boy. Who cares about them?
We're almost as forgotten as the generation that we call the forgotten generation. No, it was the silent generation. I'm sorry. Not forgotten. Anyway.
I believe that's everything.
Yes. You discovered the guys from Gang Rat's organization were all the same guy. It was actually a duplicator disguised.
Oh, that's right, it was a duplicator.
And yeah, blew a hole inside the plane. That's when you found out Dyna-man went out there to try to keep the plane up. But then another plane flew up next to you, and somebody sticking out the top. 2 people. One was a man holding a young woman, and she was basically gesturing towards your plane and caused that hole to seal up with fresh aluminum. And, they've been in the news. Y'all, your characters recognized them now. But yeah, the plane stabilized, and I think we wrapped up as y'all were approaching the island. I don't think y'all had actually landed yet.
Yes.
The island is like we said, off the coast of Alaska, and it's a couple miles by a couple miles. It's a plenty good sized island, but not like huge. It's not like you're going to one of the Hawaiian islands or something. As you approach Sanford. Is it Sanford or Stafford? What was it?
Sanford.
Sanford tells you he sees a dirt landing strip.
I'm in the middle of a game being broadcast online.
Hang on just 1 second.
Charles might do it. He asked earlier, but he
Okay. Remind me to let Curtis back on once he's done talking.
I've also muted him.
Ah, right. No, I should probably mute him too.
Yeah, he's not coming over the let's see, what time are we at? 12:35. I may just edit this out later if I don't get lazy or forget. All right. So Sanford noticed there's a dirt runway. It looks like it's in good repair. So his original plan had been really just to let y'all bail out. But if there's a landing pad, or landing strip, do you want him to land?
Yeah, just go ahead and land.
All right.
I think they can absolutely blow the plane up. But if they were going to attempt that super hard, they would have already done so.
And I really doubt they seeded the landing strip with mines or something.
Well, not
That'd
now
be a
that
good
you've
trick,
guessed.
though.
Not now that you've guessed it. So he comes in for a landing. There's a small outbuilding by the strip. There's some storage containers. You assume they probably get their supplies in this way. As y'all are landing, typical plane style, the Prime's jet just sort of hovers over the landing field for a few seconds. There's a sparkle of light underneath as people in the flyer beam down. And then it takes back off over the ocean. As y'all unload, you notice it's more than just the Primes that beam down out of the ship. You also see the Crucible and Starlight Gem.
Oh,
we've got some heavy hitters with us.
It's nice that the Crucible actually showed up. Despite my less than convincing argument.
oh yeah. It's worth noting that the Crucible's flunkies revealed that when we had disguised ourselves and upon when we broke in, we didn't fool anyone apparently. At least that's what they're telling us now.
No, they found a hole in their defenses because of what we did.
Yeah.
They said it won't work a second time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, seeing the Crucible, I'll be like, howdy. Thanks for coming out.
This is important enough to draw my attention. Though I do not appreciate the deception. Or the earlier deception.
I don't think I deceived you at any point. I just ran in the building and wanted to punch a guy that was helping in the universe, and then I cried in front of you real bad. I'm sorry about that.
Starlight Jim sort of waves.
Howdy.
But yes, he's here if in case you have to deal with LaFay's magic. He's not sure if the Fairy Prince is up to that task.
While I am deeply wounded, I understand your concerns. But everything is done and settled. I have a bit of a proposition for you that I think might make both of our lives easier in the future, but we'll save that for after all the running, punching, and blasting is done. Yes?
He just looks over at Starlight Jim. What was rule 40? Never make deals with the Fae.
Well, he's half Fae, so you could make half a deal with him. Anyway, business. Raise your hand if you have not been on a supervillain Death Trap Island before.
Starlight Jim raises her hand. It's like the Primes look at each other like they're having a little debate as to what counts as what. But none of them raise their hands.
All right. If you've raised your hand, stick with somebody that hasn't. You have a better chance of not getting stabbed that way.
Dyna-man and Knockout Queen had both raised their hands as well. Though not indispensable.
I'm genuinely surprised by that. But all right.
Now, Fairy Prince, if I remember correctly, you were supposed to summon your uncle once you got to this island some kind of way?
Yeah, I gave him a burner phone that I was going to contact so he and his people could actually ping into our location in the mortal world.
Okay.
And I suppose I shall go ahead and do that.
Okay. Alright, so you send that signal out. And as y'all are getting organized, you know there is a larger building less than half a mile from the airstrip. That is, as far as you know, the only building on the island. Secret island base. Who knows what's underneath it, or disguised with an illusion, or who knows. But that's really the only discernible structure on the island. Hang on, I am getting an echo from somebody every now and then.
Oh. I was going to say, maybe it's my dog barking, but he wouldn't cause an echo.
No.
Oh, I just saw my icon flash whenever Curtis was talking.
Okay.
Is it from me?
I'm not hearing it now since Mike muted, so it might be coming through his. Like I'm not hearing it right now. Anyway, we will carry on. All right. So as y'all are getting organized, like Curtis, your guys are just looking at you. What do we need to do, boss?
Well, we haven't really. I mean, this is not Eddie talking, but we have not planned beyond this. We've assembled our people. We don't have a plan beyond that. what are we gonna do, guys?
No, walk into the trap, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, like, I doubt any of the heavyweights that we brought with us would be super keen on being told by us to, walk into Hellfire while we sneak around. So I think we just all go together.
You'll all go together when you go. Okay.
Yep.
The only thing I have to add to that is my guys are basically really low powered, especially compared to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a support position that we need, they might be better suited for that. But
That's fair.
But I don't have in my mind what kind of support position we might be needing at the moment.
Like, do any of them have infiltration experience?
I would imagine. Well, these guys are literally they're more thugs than true supervillains. These people, they're just, break-ins, yes. Break-ins to a supervillain death trap island. That would be something they're not exactly familiar with.
Well,
Doesn't mean they wouldn't be useful.
Would a possible tactic be that our heavy hitters go in, raise a ruckus, and then maybe like a couple minutes after that, we send in a second team to sneak in, and hopefully everyone will be distracted by the chaos that we could just kind of like, explore around and see what's what in the facility. Anyone would be willing to lead something like that if we think that would be useful.
And certainly there could be advantage to having them stay back. If we get in trouble, they might be able to help get us out of it by being a backup, following in and reconnaissance after we've started our noise. Does that sound like a good plan to you?
Not opposed to it.
Yeah, anyone can stay behind too and head up that second wave.
You can see that. Yeah, y'all stick with the night magician. Listen to what he says. You can trust him.
Yeah.
He's not just anyone.
It's not just anybody, it's anyone.
So I think Eddie's like the only person that doesn't know the night magician is anyone at this point.
Actually, I'm not sure anybody is. Eddie is probably the only one that hasn't figured out that he's not the nocturnal magician or whatever.
Right.
But
everybody else knows.
But I don't know that anybody realizes he's anyone, because anyone's not real well publicly known.
The only hint we have is he's not the night magician, and the fact the professor specifically said, "Is anyone there?" in reference to a singular individual.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that Muscle knew the whole thing
I listened to a phone call from anyone to his CIA contact, which I think he referenced his own name in.
Okay, in that case, Muscle might know.
So, when we go in, is there anything particular we should be looking for? Just basically just trying to sneak past the front and get to whatever the power center is, the control hub.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like big computer banks, huge walls of TVs and computer monitors, all that good stuff.
You know,
Maybe
big,
another. Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe like a big hologram of the globe. That's always nice.
With the areas marked where they've got control. All right, so anyone is hanging back and kind of leading up a stealth team. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think so.
Okay. All right, so that'll be anyone. That will be
One of the thugs.
That will be the group of thugs. Eddie's thugs.
Animal thugs at that.
Animal thugs.
I kind of picture them mutants, kind of like the Morlocks are mutants
Right.
in
that's
Marvel.
kind of
It tends to be a lot of people that look weird but don't necessarily have any discernible powers.
I thought those were the oh no, that was just okay. That was the duplicator. No, but yeah, I feel like Black Dragon's always had the animal motif going on, at least amongst his own personal crew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has issues with his appearance. He will deny it, but obviously he does.
All right, Fairy Prince. Are you going with the stealth team or with the advanced team? The assault team. We'll call it the assault team.
Yeah, honestly, Fairy Prince should probably go with the stealth team.
Yeah,
Just
I know that we just said that.
illusion.
I'm sorry. I know we said that we weren't gonna just send our allies in to be the to take the bait, but I feel like we're well, no, Black Dragon's still going with the full.
And Muscle would be.
Right.
Yeah, Muscle's gonna be busting straight through the front door, just being like, "All right, where's the fight? I'm here to fight.
Okay.
I'm fighting somebody."
And Black Dragon, he can't hit as hard as Muscle, but he recovers from a blow, fairly quick.
Yeah.
He can take some beatings.
All right, so Muscle and Black Dragon will be basically leading the assault. Where anyone Fairy Prince and Curtis's or Eddie's thugs will be following up behind. All right, so as y'all travel through, you've got flyers up above the tree line. Not that you've got just a ton of flyers with you, now that I think about it. But you don't advance very far into the woods until you hear gunfire. Because y'all weren't going in single file, y'all were spread out a little bit, and one of the sides over there, you hear gunfire. Indispensable races over from that side. Just to let you guys know, they've got automated guns that drop down out of tree trunks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he thinks it's pretty cool too.
It occurs to me that maybe we should have just nuked this island.
You
But where's
have
the fun in
access.
that?
You got a point.
And where would you get a nuke from anyway?
Transmeter could have whipped one up.
Maybe the parts for one.
Okay, she could, but would she ethically bring herself to hand a party assembled by a bunch of supervillains a weapon of mass destruction?
She'd whip it up, but then you'd find out it was just pinball machine parts on the inside.
Man.
So back by the plane, the stealth team, you hear gunfire start up. And I need the guys in the assault lance. I need everybody to give me awareness checks, please.
Sure.
Awareness, you said?
Awareness. rolled a 15 and then a 5. Oh, you rolled 15 on a D100. I'm sorry. I see what happened.
I like to watch my pretty blue dice roll across the screen, so I was playing around.
I rolled a 6.
Okay.
I got a 9.
All right, the number to beat was 11. So Eddie, you hear this, over this somewhat distant gunfire. Hang on just a second. I'm hearing myself talk. All right. So over the sound of this distant gunfire, you hear the sound of, it sounds like people moving through the trees, and you hear how would I describe it? It sounds like a jet. So it's a little distance, and then it gets a little bit louder, and then it's coming down on top of you.
Oh boy. Do I see the jet or whatever it happens to be?
About the time you raise your head to look at it, it clicks where you've heard that sound before. Jet boots. And you see... Where did I put the icons of symbol?
Oh.
And you see Majestic 12 dropping down through the canopy.
I hate these guys.
Oh no, I'm sorry. He does drop down through the canopy, but he's actually got the full jetpack style. It was 7. Yeah, it was 7 and 5 that just had the jump jet, the super leaping, basically.
Okay.
So basically, you're not surprised as he comes down and basically does a ground pound, area effect sort of thing. So let me roll his strength.
And he's not actually hitting me. He's just doing an area effect.
It's an area effect. Yeah, it's an area effect. But he's catching everybody by surprise except you. So you can go ahead and give me a dodge on that. Versus his attack. Alright, so that's a 12 and a 12. So on a marginal, I'm going to say he didn't do anything. And the rest of you need to give me coordination rolls. Not I say the rest of you. Muscle, only other player here. Give me a prowess roll versus his strength, and he has advantage on it because he surprised you.
I got a 12.
And he got a 12. That's 4 12s in a row. So yeah, no effect. Yes, he was basically trying to, knock as many of y'all down as possible. Indispensable loses his balance, falls. Trying to think who else would be with y'all. All right, you have the primes on your left. You two in the middle. Indispensable is currently there. The the rest of the Dyna family would be over to the right. And then you don't know where Starlight was flying scout. You're not sure where the Crucible went. He disappeared in a puff of white smoke when y'all started moving out.
He's being terribly mysterious.
Meanwhile, out at the beach, you guys see Majestic 7 in the black and white or black and silver armor. She comes leaping out of the canopy, you know, jet boots landing. It's throwing up sand everywhere. Gonna have to ask you to leave this island.
No. It's lovely.
Look, I'm supposed to just be attacking you, but if you just leave, I'll just let you leave. Please, I really.
Find a real job.
What was that?
How about you go find a real job? Listen, I might be hiring soon, and talented mortal mercenaries are always in demand.
Yeah, I don't really have much choice but to do this job.
Oh, a gate?
Uh,
Oh, go ahead.
and then you start this conversation with her, and the rest of you see somebody further back, you know, behind y'all, basically, opens fire on Fairy Prince.
Rude.
So that is coordination. Let's see, versus her weapon systems. And you did not spot her. Yeah. So 10 is the number to beat.
Pretty hard for me to do. Oh.
Alright, you roll twice.
Oh, yep. So first one.
Alright, so a 9 is not the 10 she got, so she hits you.
Yep, fair.
And the rest of you see Majestic 5 as she kind of, as you know, firing her weaponry caused her to decloak. Speaking of her weaponry, that is an incredible 7 blast you just took.
Oof. Not fond of that. Not fond of that at all.
So yeah, the rest of you see this exchange happen. Interestingly, you notice that Majestic 7 kind of cringes a little bit when Fairy Prince takes the hit. Like, ooh. But she does open fire.
Maybe she's sweet on you.
Well, you know, she had all that unicorn art, and sometimes there were fairies in it. Yeah. Maybe she is. Maybe she is.
And she has terrible taste in men.
Alright, even she shoots at Fairy Prince. Odd, she shoots at the thugs. It was a 5. Oh, I guess I could have rolled in the dice roll. Alright, so odd, she's shooting at your thugs, Curtis. If you would, just give me a d6 roll for them.
Certainly.
12 is the number to beat. What is it with all the 12s today? Oh, they rolled a 6. And stats for a general thug. Gives him a coordination of 2. So that is an 8. So that is still a massive failure, or massive success.
They rolled, it still wasn't good enough.
Yep, yep. Alright, so she's got a 7. So yeah, she whips up the little palm blasters. She starts firing off. You see one of Eddie's guys go down. Hits him, slapping the center of the chest, lifts him up off his feet. He drops down. But you can see him still kind of moving a little bit. So her palm blasters must not be lethal. Doesn't look like it's fun to get by them.
Don't make me get the ASPCA involved in this.
Alright, so that was a surprise round. Everybody give me an initiative roll. Alright, where is the initiative? There we go. Alright, so I've got a 6 for Eddie. I've got an 8 for anyone. A 7 for Muscle. And an 8 for Fairy Prince. Alright. Alright, anyone, you're the first one up. Oh, just 1 second. Okay, sorry. I was getting an echo off of you and I had you muted for a second. I had forgotten.
Oh, sorry.
Alright, so you're up.
Okay, so I'm still in the plane, right?
You're on the landing field by the plane, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to open a dialogue with the Majestic 7. I'm going to basically, I'm gonna try to insight my way into figuring out why picking up that Majestic 7 cringed when Fairy Prince took a hit, and also just the fact that she gave us an opportunity to escape in the first place. I'm gonna say that basically, if you're being blackmailed into this job, no one's going to hold it against you if you turn on the Hellfires at this point. I'm just trying to see if there's if there's any possibility that she might be persuadable, as it were.
All right, roll me willpower and your. Listen, do you have some kind of specialty that would cover things like insight?
Yeah, I have the skill insight.
Okay.
At 2.
Yeah, go ahead and count that in then with your willpower roll.
All right, and you said it was a willpower.
Yeah, the social kind of stuff. And you're trying to get a read on her.
+4 +2.
Okay, let me roll for her.
Okay, you only generated a 7. I rolled a 1, unfortunately. Oh yeah, she's unreadable.
Well, she isn't all-concealing. It's not like you can read facial expressions on her blank.
I can't get her facial taste.
Motorcycle-like helmet. But anyway, but you're giving her that spiel. And and she did. I don't. She doesn't. Well, one, she doesn't work for the Hellfires. She doesn't particularly like the idea of them.
Okay, well, that's something.
Sticking noses in other people's business.
I've lost track of the plot a little bit. Why are they? Are they just attacking us just because we're is this a common enemy? What do you call it? A friend of my enemy is my friend, or something?
Well, they work for the professor. That's how you found out that he's called the professor.
Oh, okay, that's right. That was a separate line of.
Yeah, and the professor is the one that was basically blackmailing the Hellfires into using their blackmail network to, do things with politicians and whatnot.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that part.
Yeah, yeah.
So
He's
they're
like
here
this.
for- they're here
He's
for-
like this extra layer above the Hellfires.
Gotcha.
It's like the Hellfires are a wholly owned subsidiary. But no, she's telling you she can't betray the professor. Next up is Fairy Prince.
So it was Majestic 9 that shot me?
I think it was 5.
Majestic 5.
5.
I just
Alright,
realized
so-
I've got all the Majestics just identified by numbers and all the Hellfires just identified by numbers. They should probably not have done that in the same story.
That's why
It's
math is
fine,
evil,
it
kid.
works well. It's fine. But, I'm gonna get up, dignifiedly dust myself off, and all of a sudden he's gonna see Helio swoop out of the sky and just nail him right in the gut.
Okay.
That's a fairy trickery.
I assumed. Alright. And he resists this with his awareness, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Did it roll? Yep.
He made a minimum roll. Versus your 11. So yeah. And it's one of your illusions, so everybody sees this. And yeah, Helios flies down through the canopy. Really just kind of right down on top of him because, oh, hang on a second. Fairy Prince was Fairy Prince was on the beach. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's not Majestic 12. You're either going after 7 or 5. Both of which are women. You were saying a guy had me think of the other guy. All right, so yeah, he zips down just out of the clear blue sky, slugs Majestic 5, who goes stumbling back. Complaining. That's not fair. He was supposed to have already been up there. Somebody else's problem. I was supposed to pick off the easy ones.
Turns out when you pay someone enough, they'll do just about anything to make sure that check clears.
All right, let's see. What's the rank of your fairy trickery?
My rank is, I'm pretty sure it was 6.
Okay.
And I have 3 to specialty powers, but that doesn't change how much damage we'll do.
Okay. All right, so she goes staggering back under the punch. Meanwhile, in the woods, Muscle.
Hey, it's me in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Which Majestic was it that ground pounded?
That is 12.
I'm gonna walk right up to 12 and bash him into the ground.
Were you knocked prone?
We matched numbers 12 and 12.
Okay, so no, you were not matching. Right. Carry on. As you're running up, he's like, let's do this one more time.
I'm glad you know it's the last time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the last time.
That sounds sad. 14.
All right, this would be versus his prowess. And he got a 13.
He gave it his best shot.
Yep.
Alright. Just be a quick 7 damage to him.
All right. You see him take the lick. And you remember this guy is awfully hard.
Yep. but I know he doesn't have a giant laser face, so it's easier than last fight.
Well, he's got energy blasts, but yeah. But they're not quite that Hellfires laser or eye beams. All right, so that's Muscle. Curtis.
Okay. I do believe, if I recall, Majestic 12 is more of a heavy hitter than, say, being coordinated. So I would, if I spit on him with my corrosive dragon breath, can I do that without hitting Muscle? I know they're in close proximity now.
Well, yes, it wouldn't be any different than firing an energy blast. Okay. Mechanically speaking.
Because it's not ranged.
It's not.
I don't want to.
It's not an area effect. That is.
Yeah, I don't want to get Muscle too. So
Okay.
I will do that. I will use my dragon breath.
All right. So you're spitting at him, which is his coordination.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you nail him. It's hissing. It's bubbling.
Oh no, it's 6 damage and half damage the next 2 turns. I don't know if that's enough to do anything to him at all.
Yeah, you're not sure if it is. And you remember from previous experience, he is definitely the toughest of these 3.
Yeah, he's tough.
With the other 2, you know you've managed to wear their armor down over time before. All right. Oh, and then it is 12's turn. Eddie was the last one to attack him, but Muscle is right in front of him. So Muscle, he's taking a swing at you.
All right.
He got a 12.
Hold up a minute. Hold up. Let me double check that I haven't added a modifier I ain't supposed to.
All right, you roll a d6.
I see what happened here. On the modifiers, I need to drop it by 2. Last time I used this ability, I used a quality to pump it up, and I just added that 2 to the modifier.
Oh, okay. On your dice roller, gotcha.
So that should be a 15 on a max roll, not a 17.
All right, but he got a 12. You got a 15.
Is that enough for a counter punch?
I
forget if it has to be the beat by 4.
Let's see here. Alright, you can dodge attacks with your coordination, yada yada yada. If your dodge results in a massive failure for the attack, and it is a throw weapon or object. Oh wait, that's dodging. This is evading. That's what we're looking for. If your evasion results in a massive failure for the attack, you also automatically hit the attacker. So it's got to be massive. You got to beat him by 4 to get the auto punch back.
Then I do not get to automatically punch him back.
Nope. You just definitely get out of the way. And then because I pre-rolled their initiatives, and they all got basically the same thing. Next up is Majestic 7. Anyone, she's gonna try to punch you. Since you kind of approached her and started talking.
What I get right before I can go into defense mode.
All right.
That's a punch, so that's martial arts kicks in.
Mm-hmm. She rolled max and got a 10.
Oh, she got me good. Well, not great, but she got me good.
Yeah, it's a solid lick. She has a 7 strength.
I do not. And that will send me almost to the ground.
All right, so you go staggering back. I'm sorry about this, but y'all just wouldn't stop.
I know I had this coming.
Then next up is our stealthy lady. Let's see. She darts over to one side and sort of shimmers out of view as she's doing. So she took her opportunity to like re-stealth up. And then finally, you guys in the woods. Curtis, if you recall, I mentioned you heard the jet, but you heard people. You also heard people coming through the woods.
Right.
And what comes through the woods looks like just a bunch of probably hired mercs. You know, it's just guys with guns. You can't tell for sure. You can't tell for sure how many there are. Basically, I'm running this mob of thugs like one creature.
Gotcha.
But as they step out, you hear Majestic 12 basically yell at them. Take out the lizard and the kid. The big guy's mine. And since Indispensable is currently laying down, but Curtis is standing up and looks like a monster, they will shoot at Eddie. Or I should say Eddie looks like a monster. So the number to beat is a 10, Curtis.
And is this ranged or?
This is range. They're shooting at you.
Yeah, they're shooting at me.
All right, so they rolled a 10. You rolled an 8. So that is 4 points of damage. And they're just using plain old style assault rifles.
Alrighty.
Let's see. Indispensable uses his turn to get up. And there is commotion starts going off to you guys out in the woods to both sides of you. So clearly you're not the only people being engaged. Your help's, taking a hit too. Then we're back at the top of the order with anyone.
Okay, so at this point, I'm just going to go on full defensive mode to try to hopefully keep M7 occupied. And hopefully someone else can take her out.
Okay. And I forget exactly what does full defense do. Does it give you a plus?
2, I believe.
Oh.
On all defense checks I make till the next page.
Okay. So it's like giving yourself advantage for that roll, but not having to burn anything. Other than
Basically,
action.
yeah, effectively.
Alright, Fairy Prince, your target has vanished.
I don't like that at all. I'm gonna take to the air, and I'm just gonna have. You know what? I'm gonna have Helios bop Majestic 7 in the back of the head.
Alright, so he flies over there at her. So it is she got a 9, you got a 15.
Oof.
And how? Oh yeah, we said it was a. So yeah, he runs over there and it kind of clanks off her armor. But she doesn't whine about it like the other one did.
Fake Helios is just gonna say, "Hands off my payday," because I'm just going to just drag this man's reputation through the mud for no other reason other than sheer instinct.
All right, Muscle, you're up.
Well, time to keep punching, because I enjoy beating a man to death, apparently. That'll be a 10.
11. All right.
Swing and a miss for Muscle.
So yeah, so you swing at him. He comes up in a classic kind of boxing block. He probably was not trained in any of that kung fu, but
This is gonna be 15 minutes of us beating each other.
some things are worth the wait.
And I don't think any of us could actually help you in this.
Well, you can always put conditions on him or put qualities on him by using maneuver. There's things you could do. Raw damage? This is probably a Muscle problem. Raw damage. But Eddie, you're up. And there are people pointing guns at you.
I'm going to do a bite on these bugs that are coming after me.
All right. So that
I
is.
have a better chance to hit with that.
Okay. So their prowess is a 3 plus they're trained to fight. All right, so they got a 9. Does not beat your 10.
So again, they take 6 plus half the next 2 pages.
All right. Well, however many people there are in this mob, there is one less now. At least one less that's effective. You clamp down with that acid bite, you just ruin that guy's forearm. He ends up dropping his gun and screaming and falling back. He's trying to wipe the stuff off, and that's just getting it on his other hand. Then we come down to.
Makes them feel better for not being able to hurt Majestic 12.
All right. Speaking of Majestic 12, he's going to do. All right. So Muscle, y'all are basically boxing at this point. Well, he takes a step back, almost like he's getting ready to throw a swing. And this central portion of his chest basically is blasting you in the eyes.
lasers.
This is, well, laser. It doesn't look like a laser. This is what he's actually doing. What we're actually doing here is he's trying to temporarily blind you, trying to put up quality on you.
Okay.
So this is range. So this is coordination. Muscle's coordinated, isn't he?
Fairly, but not super.
8 is the number to beat.
Well, on a max roll, I'll get a 13. Yes.
All right. So he fails to put the maneuver on you. You know, you register that it's starting to glow just in time to snap your eyes shut before the actual blast hits.
Good, nice and good. Me and 12 are just being worthless against each other while everyone else is fighting.
All right. Then we go down to... Shoot, what's that one? Majestic 7. Anyone, she's going to kind of blow past you, or kind of leap over you, and she's going to take a swing at the fairy prince.
Rude.
Because I think it's you said you had taken to the air, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, she can easily see you. She can super leap. You're not that high up. So this is plus her weapon systems. Yeah, 8's the number to beat. That'd be your coordination.
Cool. Excuse me, what was that prowess or coordination you said?
Coordination. This is her shooting.
Not a problem.
All right, so that's an 8. So that's a tie. So if she clips you, oh, I'm looking at her blast. I need to look at her strength. Here we are. Oh, they're the same. So her strength is 7. Halved, so 3. So 3 points of damage.
That'll work. I'm not in a good place.
Yeah, you've taken a lick from both of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and now it's the stealthy lady going. So, Fairy Prince, give me an awareness roll.
Yes, sir.
First is her coordination and the stealth suit.
Oh, I should have probably burned a determination point for this, but no, dice is on the table.
Is that another 8? Okay, she rolled a 13 and you rolled... Have you rolled?
Has it shown up on your... it says my connection to the server has been interrupted.
Okay.
But it shows that I rolled a 9. So
Okay.
do you not see mine?
No, it hadn't cropped up yet. You might try reloading the page.
Yeah.
Alright, you said it was a 9, so... Alright, she beats you, so... You do not notice her coming up behind you. Or to the side, you know. You don't notice her creeping up on you. Until she opens fire. So that gives her advantage. So give me a coordination roll.
Let me reopen my sheet.
She got a minimum.
I,
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say she got a minimum roll, so 7's the number to beat.
And I'm going to burn a determination point to tap Insight of the Fae to detect fuckery is about.
That's definitely what she specializes in.
So give me a +2. Be a +3 to that roll.
And you doubled her score.
Wow.
She's lucky she didn't try to punch you.
I mean, I have a strength of 4. I'm pretty sure I would just break a nail if I tried to punch her.
Well, that's fair. You'd have to have, if you had your sword out, you'd have a better shot.
Yeah.
So yeah, she tried to creep up on you, and this is a dirt runway, but it's packed dirt, but still, she managed to kick up enough of a cloud of dirt that with you being on alert that somebody is stealthing around. You spot it, you easily do a little spin, pirouette in the air to avoid the shot. She stomps her foot in frustration.
I'm almost insulted you thought that would work.
Yes, the thugs going after Black Dragon. Alright, so they're going to shoot. Thugs are shooting at you again. Alright, so that's half damage, so they got a 10, you got a 10. Marginal success, so half damage. You take 2 points of damage. One of the bullets just does manage to wing an arm or a leg. Anyone, you're up.
Sorry, I'm having interface difficulties here. I think I zoomed in when I should have zagged. Anyway, I'd like to see if I could. Oh, there you are. Now we still have M7 and M5. Are they still both up in?
They're both still up. Currently, they both seem to be going after Fairy Prince.
Yeah. To see if I could be risky because I'm kind of wobbly right now, but in fact I wonder if I should. You know what? I'm gonna spend a determination point and try to reinvigorate and get some of my. You know what? No, I'm not, because I'd just be one hit from fall. I'd still be one hit from falling anyway. So I'm gonna actually try to jump on one of them and just try to I don't know, maybe I'll try for a grapple. I really shouldn't. I really should have invested in wrestling by now. But let me see if I can grapple. Let's say M7 and try to keep her from continuing to attack the Fairy Prince.
Okay.
That's a prowess thing.
Alright, that is versus her prowess.
Not even close.
But it's not a massive, so she doesn't get to hit you. Well, you're not trying to damage her. So yeah, you go and you're trying to grab her, and she's just sort of shrugging you off. Enhanced strength and all.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, you're a magician. Why are you trying to wrestle me?
good question.
Fairy Prince, you're up.
I'm going to have Helios throw a knee right into Majestic Five's head.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another roll for your fairy stuff.
That's a 12.
Oh, she got a 10. It was so close. So yeah, you hear the clang. And she seemed her attention seems to focus on Helios now. Muscle, back in the woods.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
You know what? I'm sure I won't minimum roll a second time trying to punch this. Not a minimum roll, 12.
Okay. Oh, an 11. Almost.
All right.
And how much damage are you doing? 7 damage?
7 damage.
You slam into that armor. You're not sure you're doing a whole lot to it, though.
I'm sure I'm getting enough eventually.
Eddie.
Doing another bite against the, I guess we're calling them thugs.
Yeah, or mercs, whatever you want to call them.
Let's call them mercs since my guys are thugs.
That's fair. Alright, so you beat him by 4. That's a massive success.
Oh, and I should, this turn I ought to heal. Because I heal a point every other turn. So
Okay.
give up a point.
Alright, and that's another merc that goes down.
Since it's a mob, does the effect of the half damage next turn? That's kind of weird.
I guess it wouldn't. Because I'm basically counting, like, every time you get a
Right.
hit, it's one of these guys going down.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause logically it would not.
Alright, so that is Black Dragon. Oh yeah, I didn't roll for indispensable. But he just spent the last round standing up. So this round... he would connect with a goon, so another one would go down. Yeah, there's only 2 of these guys left now. And when their turn comes up, I'll actually roll a morale for them. But now it's the Majestics. Well, him trying to blind you temporarily didn't work. So he takes a step back from you and tries to blast you. It's like he's just going through his arsenal. This one just being just an attack with one of the weapon systems. Alright, so that's his coordination.
Right, see ya.
That is a 9. Not an overly impressive number.
That's a 10.
Ah, you duck your head, energy blast goes sailing past you, it hits a tree, birds go flying.
We both know this is a long, slow fight that you lose.
Oh no, this is a more complicated strategy than that. You just don't realize it yet. Because you're thick.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm the only one that gets to call Meathead thick.
I can go with dumb. Do you prefer I go with dumb?
Oh, I don't care about your opinion, so I don't really care.
Alright, then we go green. Well, on my initiative thing. Alright, so that is Majestic 7. She takes half a step back from Mike. You hear the jet boots flare up again, and she leaps up into the air towards Fairy Prince. This time she's trying to grapple him. She will bring you down to earth.
I need a lower.
Minimum roll, so 6 is the number you have to beat. Alright, you got an 11. So you beat her by 5. That's a massive success. So you easily drift out of her way. It was a very clumsy kind of jump and grab attempt. Fairy Prince as Majestic 5 starts to unload on the Helios illusion. Give me a roll with your fairy magic.
Sure.
Alright. She's still convinced. She's oblivious to the fact that her energy blasts are like going through him and damaging stuff behind him when they shouldn't if they hit. Alright, them last two thugs. Eddie, give me a willpower roll. If you have like an intimidation specialty, it would count in. I just want to see how scary you're coming off to him right now.
If Curtis would ever buy specialties.
You know, not everybody's interested in playing the skill monkeys.
To be fair, I've only got 7 specialties on Muscle.
They're,
Didn't work.
I won't say they're not scared, but they're. Now, yeah, your mediocre roll, they had to roll max to beat, and they only beat it by
Because
1.
Eddie is just, naturally kind of creepy and scary.
Yeah. But they have decided to carry on the mission, so they are shooting at you. They are concentrating their fire on you.
Of course.
Indispensable seems to be taking bullets well, so. So 8 is the number to beat. They don't come close to hitting you.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone, you're up. I think you're muted.
Am I still muted? Oh, I thought
No, I hear you now. I just saw your lips move without you saying anything. You may have just been reading something here. I don't know.
Oh, must be more lag on my part.
Could be.
Yeah. Now I know. Let's see. M7 shot up. Is anyone? Do I have any hostiles near me at this point?
Majestic 7 jumped, missed Fairy Prince, and landed. So she's within distance that you could run up and try something.
Okay. let me try another. This might be veering from stage magician to circus clown territory. But let me pull some binding. Maybe I can pop some binding streamers out of my sleeve to try to get another bind on her.
Okay.
So I'll be stunting. I could be anyone. Or no, AKA the Night Magician.
Yeah. So you're tapping that.
Binding attack. What would I be rolling to attempt that?
I believe it'd be coordination for binding.
Okay. Could I talk sleight of hand incorporation into that roll?
Sure. Because it's not something she'd be expecting. You're surprising her with it, so.
Still not a great roll. But I got a 9.
All right. Yeah, versus her coordination. I thought so. This was on 7. You beat her by 1.
Fantastic.
So what is the strength on that binding?
I guess it'll be whatever you've ruled the effect, I guess the strength of the binding power that I'm stunting would be, which if it's coordination still, that would be a 4. In fact, any attribute I have would pretty much be a 4, that or strength. So.
All right, I just needed to assign a number to it to see how hard it is for her to break out of it.
Okay, well, if you want to include sleight of hand, it would be 7. Otherwise, 4.
Okay, so 7's bound up. It is a partial hold essentially because it's works on the same skills as the wrestling or grappling stuff. And what that means is she's stuck to the ground, so she can't move like further away from you, so she can't jump for Fairy Prince. She can of course try to escape it without any special penalties, but she can still take other actions, but she'll be at -2.
Okay.
If she doesn't break up and you try this same thing again, then you could potentially another partial success or another moderate success would move that partial hold to a full hold. If you just like kept pouring the stuff on. Like I said, assuming she doesn't break out of it. Fairy Prince, you see one of your opponents is now bound by silly string, maybe?
Something like that. Let's make it glittery.
Gotta be glittery. I'm just gonna roll with it, and you said it was 7 that got bound, right?
Right. 5 is the stealthy one that you've got a Helios illusion fighting.
Yeah. Helios is gonna do a flying elbow drop into number 5.
Okay. She had a 9.
I literally can't not beat that.
Alright, so he slams that elbow into her. If that was a real strength attack, that'd be enough for going prone. So she ends up falling down. Let's see. So Muscle out in the woods.
I'll turn to indispensable and quickly state, hey, this is some distraction play for something else they're doing. Make sure, if you have a communicator with somebody else, make sure they know that too. And then I'll go back to fighting 12.
Then you hear him get on the radio.
Because if he's just gonna tell me, hey, this is a side play, might as well let everybody know it's a side play.
Yep.
And I'll take a swing.
Okay.
13. Or sorry, I guess I'll have to step up to him and take a swing. He did
Yeah.
take a step back.
That's easy enough to do, though. All right, 13. He got a 9.
Finally got that big difference and get to see what happens. All right. First is the slam, then the stun. It did not matter. They're both 12.
All right. So that's 2 strength checks for him. First one is a 10. So that's the slam. So he does go flying. Ooh, that's not good. That's a major success on the stun.
You're going to get to wail on him.
Oh, hang on. My PDF reader here is acting all wonky. It's literally opening the search bar behind the document. Where I can't get to it. All right. One moment. All right, stunning. Here we are. Luckily, I have that page marked. All right, so with stunning, a moderate stuns for 1 page, a major or massive. So yeah, you pop him, he goes flying back into the woods and lays still. Close fight, close fight, close fight. Knockout blow.
Truly, how every fight goes with Muscle.
It reminds me of an episode of Shan Chan where they were spoofing boxing movies. Or boxing manga, where they were spoofing boxing fiction. And his last big punch in the big fight is the punch that he's screaming, the name of the attack, which is punch like every other punch, but this time I win. All right, Eddie, you see a Majestic go flying into the woods and not get back up.
Excellent. And I will go after my mob again.
I heard that as go after my mom again. Like, what? All right, well, there's only 2 of them left, so. One of them got. Oh, you were mauling these guys. This guy screams when you bite him, and then when you release the bite, he kind of drops down, he's rolling around on the ground trying to get the acid off of him. So the one guy in the mob left standing has a look on his face that tells you he has had all he wants for the day. Indispensable gets on the comm and then races off without another word.
Damn it. We needed him to help make sure that Majestic 12 does not get back up. But Muscle can probably handle it.
All right, Majestic.
That doesn't do mind powers. I'm pretty sure I can handle it.
All right, so Majestic 7 is currently bound. Rather than try to escape, she takes her one free arm and swings it around and is going to try to blast anyone to stop him from putting any of that goo on her. So that would be plus her specialty, but she's got a -2 disadvantage. So 5 is the number to beat.
That's the number she got. I got.
Wow, y'all both rolled terribly. Alright, so marginal success. Half damage.
Put me down.
So it's 3 points of damage.
Yep, half damage puts me down.
Alright, so Fairy Prince, you see her gooed up, and she spins around, and tries to fire on does fire on anyone, and the shot just clips him. He's rolling out of the way, but it clips him, and then he looks like he goes down.
Be a nice dramatic. No.
I'm fine.
Alright, then Majestic 5. She spends this action getting up and going invisible again. Then the one thug left in the woods turns tail and runs. He's professional enough not to drop his rifle. He keeps his rifle, but he's just bolting away. Anyone?
Yeah, I guess it's time for me to drop another determination and
Okay.
shake myself out of my stupor.
Okay. So yeah, you hit the ground. And you were probably unconscious for a couple of seconds, and then you kind of groggily open your eyes, and start shaking your head. You hear Majestic 7 behind you. Oh, come on, just stay down.
Pretty please.
Fairy Prince. You see where anyone hit the ground, you're like, oh, that's not good. And then you see him start picking himself, he's wobbly, but picking himself up.
I am going to raise one hand, snap my fingers, and just say fairy fire or something like that, and just an illusory wall of fire will just wash down from me, hit the beach, and then spread out in a massive wave. Just trying to blanket the area. And
Okay.
So, I'm trying to, whenever it reaches anyone, it'll just sort of part around.
Okay.
So I'm trying not to have it hurt him.
You're trying to engulf the invisible one when you're not sure where she's at. And then the one you can actually see.
Yep.
Alright. So that's a...
Oh, those fajitas are smelling good.
Alright, both of the Majestic scream. They sound a little panicked. Weirdly, it sounds more like screams of fear than pain.
That's fine. Screams are screams. Fairy Prince likes screams.
Alright. Back out in the woods. Okay, Muscle, everybody seems to be down.
What direction did Indispensable run in?
Off to the left. Where he came. Towards where the primes were.
Alright. Eddie, I'm gonna follow Dispensable. And with that, I'm gonna dash off chasing the child.
Alright. And how fast are you when you dash off?
I can run at car speeds, but I'm not using my super speed right now.
Oh, okay.
gotta save that for emergencies.
So yeah, you're following him, and basically, as you follow him, he looks like he is cutting towards, y'all blow past the primes, who are engaged in a bunch of generic-looking Hellfires. They seem to be holding their own fine. But it's like indispensable is running to the beach off one side.
Did we hear over the comm why he was headed that particular direction?
He didn't say anything. He had gotten on the comms talking to somebody else, letting them know that Muskell thought this might be a distraction. So Muskell, you see him head to the beach. You're considerably slower than he is, but you can kind of tell where he's going. But you don't get to the beach quite yet. Eddie, what are you doing?
I am so torn. Between following Muskell and taking the helmet and chest plate of this stupid Majestic 12 armor and burning it from the inside so he can't use it again.
Kind of like that idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I'm going to do. Muskell, I'm going to make a note of the direction that Muskell and Indispensable ran. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to take off this guy's helmet and the chest and spit on the inside and ruin whatever electronics and stuff.
Okay. Give me an intellect tech roll to see if you can figure out how to get this stuff off of him. Versus, would it be the professor's intellect? Or the level of his tech? Yeah, we'll just go with level of the tech. That's going to be lower than the professor's intellect. All right, 9 is the number to beat. Eddie got a 5. You spin the round, futzing around with the armor. Trying to figure out kind of where the latches and, but you managed to find where you think the seam is, but you're trying to figure out where the latch mechanism is. Alright, and then it is Majestic 12, who is unconscious. Majestic 7 is going to try to break out of that webbing now so she can get out of the fire. Or the silly string, I should say. Or streamers, or whatever it was. So she'll roll her strength versus the durability of the stuff, which we said was a 4. So Mike, if you give me a d6 plus 4 roll, I'll roll her strength. Ooh, 12
D6
is
plus 4.
12 is the number to beat, so I don't think you're going to be able to.
Oh yeah, most likely not.
So once she concentrates on it, she manages to get shrug out of the stuff. And then she leaps, so escape was her action, and then she leaps out of the illusionary fire to land on top of y'all's plane.
Oh, how? I know where this is going.
But that is her action. She was just, she got loose from the stuff holding her in the fire and then got out of the fire. You hear another set of jet boots fire up. Let me check and make sure I got this right. Yes, 5 also has leaping. basically, you hear the invisible one leap away.
Do we hear where she lands?
Back off in the tree. She is retreating.
Okay.
So you just kind of hear generally the direction she goes. You hear the breaking of limbs. She lands somewhere in the forest. And then all the goons are gone. Anyone, you're standing on the beach. You heard this. You heard one of the Majestics leap away. You are surrounded by fire. Back a decent ways from you.
Would I know enough that do I need to make an active disbelief attempt?
I wouldn't worry about it because you know what Fairy Prince does. So
yeah, and I know what the Majestics do. That's not indiscriminate fire attacks.
No, they may fire indiscriminately, but that's totally different.
All right. So let's see. Majestic 7 has landed onto the plane. Where's Sanford in all this?
He's on the plane. He did not get off the plane.
Oh, okay.
And Eddie's thugs, one of them went down the first round, and the rest of them basically grabbed that guy and drug him back up onto the plane. So they are currently on the plane.
Oh, and okay. But Sanford stayed in the cockpit?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if they're all on the plane, oh boy. Yeah. I'm going to try to run into the plane too.
Okay. Okay, is there anything you want to do when you get on the plane, or you're this round, or you're just intent on getting on the plane?
Yeah, I'll worry about that when I get there. But I have no idea. Is the answer?
Oh, well, you have no trouble.
You know what? Let me disguise myself as another one of the thugs. Let's see if they have the presence of mind to do a head count.
Well, now the thugs on the plane are on your side.
Oh,
they are Eddie's thugs. They are Eddie's thugs.
Okay.
The Majestic shot one of them when they landed.
That's what we talked about this.
Yeah.
Their thugs are.
The other ones are the mercs. Yeah. I keep swapping up their labels.
So what I will do is I'll take on the appearance of one of the thugs with an anteater mask, and now I'll try to get onto the plane and hopefully continue the fight there.
So you run up on there just in time to be here in Sanford. Did she just jump on my plane? Your boss knows he's paying for anything that I got to replace. All right, Fairy Prince. You saw anyone get up and go running into the plane? His form changing as it gets there.
All right. I'm just gonna have Helios zip in and punch Majestic 7.
Okay. Willpower is. All right, 8 is the number she needed to beat, and that fails to meet your 12. So she goes staggering back, thinking she's been punched by Helios. Muscle, you still trekking through the forest?
Trying to keep up with Indispensable, yeah.
Okay.
If I've got to burst some speed to catch up to him, I will.
You probably need to.
I'll bust out a rank 4 super speed and see if I can't catch up enough to ask him what he's doing.
Let's see. His rank 5 speed. He basically made it to the beach. So with that burst of speed, you race out onto the beach. And he is like peering off into the ocean. And you come
Distant
run at me.
vision or X-ray? Which one you using?
The goggles have a little bit of enhancing. Actually, let me check, make sure I didn't give him super senses. Yeah. He goes, there's a little disturbance. One of the flyers thought they spotted something. And as you look, just when you take it out, you can see something's disturbing the water out there. Like it's not raising up into a tidal wave or nothing like that.
Would my X-ray vision give me a better shot at telling what it is?
Yeah, that would probably work.
All right, I'll crack it on.
All right, give me an awareness roll.
Awareness.
Let me give you
My
a
power does
difficulty.
not burn out.
Yeah, that was too high a roll. Oh, by which I mean I made the number too high when I hit the dice. You don't make out a lot of detail, but there's a giant freaking robot walking along the ocean floor out there, and its head is just like right at the top of the water level.
Is it a giant J?
It's a giant robot in the water.
Is indispensable sitting there? Is that some backup you called in? He sounds really hopeful.
I know of.
He gets on the comms to whoever it is he's got comm links with. Muscle says it's a giant robot walking along the ocean.
I'll go ahead and pop my growth ability and get ready for it.
Let's see. Oh yeah, Eddie, what are you doing? You're still standing over Majestic 12.
Yeah, I'm probably not smart enough to.
Well, you can always give it one more try.
Armor, but I'm gonna give it another shot.
Okay. It all comes down to dice
And
rolls.
Can I use? I don't think I've got anything. None of my qualities let me add to this particular roll.
Saying Eddie ain't got nothing technical.
No, flimsy, underhanded, that kind of stuff, but not technical.
No.
It ain't gonna happen.
All right. All right. So you got a 6. 10 was the number to beat. So you're getting ready to give up in disgust when you hear something breaking through the forest.
Oh, joy.
And let's see, then we just see 12's unconscious. Then we cut back to the beach. Fairy Prince, she you see her head jerk up, and suddenly she looks to her left, which is out towards the west. And then you just see her kind of shake her head. And action-wise, she's going to take a moment to look at the Helios illusion. And she basically asks him, aren't you worried about reckon your boss is playing?
I can fly him wherever he needs to go.
But with that, she flares up her boots and leaps away. She jumps off the top of the plane with enough force that you see the top of the plane buckle in slightly.
Rude.
It's not bad. I'm sure the thing's still flyable.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't really matter how the air flows around the outside of one of them things, is it?
Right? I mean, how do planes fly anyway? Magic? It's magic, right?
Or magnets. Something with an M. Then back out in the woods, Eddie, the noise you heard and the person landing, it was Majestic 5.
Oh, well, it's on.
She basically lands and yells at you to get away from him.
Oh, I don't think so, Toots.
Toots. Did you grow up watching like black and white mob movies or something?
Hey, how I spend my entertainment time is my business.
Alright, and she is going to try to blast you. So, coordination. Minimum roll, you only got to beat a 7.
That's all.
So she goes to blast. You do the whole kind of Spider-Man-esque flipping out of the way, bouncing off a tree or whatever. Why are you so hard to hit?
Is that he can't climb a tree.
Well, so can a cat, but I'd hit one of them just fine. I mean, hypothetically. Anyone, you're on the plane, you hear the plane gives a shake, and you hear the jet boots as that other Majestic takes off.
Taken off the plane?
Yeah. She had landed on the roof of the plane.
Right.
You know, she had just jumped up there because it was high enough to be out of the fire.
Oh, okay. Well, here's a question. What do I see when I board the plane? Like, what are the thugs doing here? Are they just seeking cover too, or is there an actual fight?
Looks like they were just getting their buddy. They got knocked out, so they drug him back in there. One of them's kind of checking him, and he just got they got his shirt open, but it's just a big massive bruise where that energy blast hit. Like it might have been more concussive force than anything.
Okay, if he seems like he's like more or less okay.
Yeah, he's not going to be joining the fight, but he'll live.
Sure. I'll check on Sanford. Is he doing all right? Is he in the cockpit?
He's got the cockpit locked.
Okay, I'll say I'll shift back to night magician mode and say it's me.
He cracks it open and looks out. Is the fight over?
Is everything? You okay? No, I'm afraid
Yeah.
not
Nothing.
yet. Although it may be. I feel like the beach is stabilized. Is that actually right?
Yeah, that's as far as you know. Everybody that was on the or by the landing strip has left.
I think the Majestics are withdrawing into the forest. Fortunately.
Is that the robot guys?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Because he doesn't know armored suit. He doesn't know what's going on.
How are you with first aid? Do you have any first aid?
Oh yeah. Well, he goes. Anytime you do some stunt stuff, you do stuntman work or stunt flying, you always you got to make sure you can sit your own leg if you land bad and like a parachuting or something.
Speaking of which, one of Black Dragon's guys got bruised up. Would you mind looking after him?
Sure. He grabs a little first aid kit and heads out there.
Yeah, I appreciate you standing by us here. I know that's not what you asked for.
No.
That's not what we originally signed up for.
I'll be expecting some hazard pay. Just to let you know.
You got it. And then I'll just kind of try to command the others into the fight's moved into the forest, and hopefully we can get closer to our final objective now.
Okay. So the uninjured ones, they gear up and they get ready to follow you out as soon as the fire dies down. All right, Fairy Prince, there's no fighting anymore. Your opponents have leapt away.
I'm gonna go into the plane, check on anyone, make sure everything's okay.
All right, you see Eddie's guys, other than the one that got blasted in the chest, getting their gear ready. Anyone seems to have them, he seems to be giving them their marching orders. You see the pilot kind of, doctoring on the one that got blasted.
I'm gonna go up to the pilot and say, so there was some minor damage to the roof of the plane, and I'm just gonna make a little holographic image showing a dent.
He's looking over. Yeah, he's rubbing it. He kind of rubbed his finger across the top. Okay, we should still be able to fly with that.
Good.
Might be a little more turbulence, but
if needs must, assuming she survives, there was that one material specialist that aided us earlier.
Oh, yeah, she's the one that passed
She'd
the
be
plane, yeah.
But,
Had to get some more windows.
Magician, are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm a little banged up, but I'm still ready to go.
All right. So I guess you guys start moving into the forest then.
Before we do, I'd like to burn a determination point to recover my willpower and stamina.
Okay, that's fine. Go right ahead. Musco, we'll get back to you in just a second. Let's go ahead since Black Dragon is still potentially in a fight.
Understood.
Your turn. Your go, Eddie.
I am gonna. This is 5, right? I'm gonna leap at 5 and try and bite her.
All right. So that is her prowess. Eight is the number to beat. You beat 8. So that is how much damage?
6.
6.
And then
Okay.
Probably her armor ignores it, but half damage next 2 turns.
Okay.
Does it look like it made a dent at all, or is it just like fighting Majestic 12?
No, this one is and y'all have figured this out previously. That the 2 lower number Majestics, their armor tends to be ablative.
Yeah.
So, she's not feeling any pain from what you just did, but you can tell that your spit's eating away at her armor. So she's not as heavily armored now as she was. In fact, you've got her down low enough armor-wise that she's had to retreat before. Though this one is the one that's usually the first one to retreat anyway. Alright, then the Majestics go. So she pushes past you. Basically grabs 12 by one arm and throws him up over her shoulder before leaping away. Meanwhile, out on the beach, Indispensable reports to you that Knockout Queen and Dyna-man have gotten to the edge of the building, or the edge of the facility. But there seems to be some kind of field they can't actually get on the property, or get into the kept yard part of the of this building. He kind of looks at you. Should we go check that out? I mean, I guess that thing's coming. It'll get here when it gets here.
How fast does it seem to be moving from me seeing it?
Y'all have got several minutes at least before it hits the beach. You can just see the metal dome of its head starting to stay out of the water.
If we got anybody that can mess with it while it's on the way in, get them to do that. Yeah, we'll see what we can do about that barrier.
All right, so he races back. As y'all run back through, the primes are still in their fight, but they're wrapping it up.
I'll shout out to them. Hey, whichever one of you can adjust materials. Beachhead's got a robot when y'all are done with your fight.
The female prime kind of gives you a high sign. The one you saw standing up out the top of the plane.
All right. Also, at this point, I'm kind of just like, indispensable, carry me. You're faster than me, and I know you're super strong. And I'll just leap up, be carried by him because he's faster than me.
So it's this ridiculous piggyback situation.
Especially because I'm also bigger.
He can barely get his arms around your thighs enough to even get a grip, and your feet are just barely not dangling enough to catch the ground as he's running.
But he's strong enough to carry me, and he's faster than me, so it's useful.
This is true. Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely true that he's strong enough to carry you. Yeah, he does count. He does technically have super strength. So you race over to where his where Dyna-man and Knockout Queen are. And as you approach, they're both, you see that they're both just rearing back and hitting the field like it's like synchronized. They're kind of punching together at the same area. They stop when you run up to them.
Is that getting anything to it?
Not anything noticeable, but I mean, if we kept at it, we could probably wear down its power source at some point. But I don't like the idea of giving them a whole lot of time to get ready for us inside.
Does it go underneath the ground?
It goes down at least a little ways into the ground. And you can see, when you look at the field, you can see a groove cut into the dirt. He goes, I don't know if it's completely spherical or not.
I'll see if I can get, can I see if I can get a grip on it?
Just kind of try to slide your hands down.
Yeah, see if I can just physically feel it to get my fingers around some part of it somehow.
It's got kind of a staticky feel, and your fingers kind of go numb a little bit as you're touching it. It's definitely an energy field. As far as you can reach, crouching down, it just keeps going.
All right.
But that's only the length of your arm. So.
Can I position up and give it one solid punch just to see how it feels?
Sure. You give it, you rear back and you give it a lick. It again, staticky on your hand. Almost reminds you of when you were a kid and you hit a baseball but you weren't holding the bat quite right and you got the bumblebees. Not as bad as when you were a kid, but that would probably be Muscle's point of reference. But visually, you don't see anything that the one lick does.
And looking around X-ray vision. Still hasn't burned burned out yet.
Okay.
Looking down, are there underground tunnels or anything for a?
Give me an awareness roll.
8.
The building looks like an old, like maybe military or intelligence. There's some old equipment in there. You know, this might have been like an old Cold War listening station or something. The only new construction that you see is an elevator shaft that goes quite deep.
Deeper than I can see, I assume.
Well, it's dark down there. But it goes on down, and you think maybe you can kind of hazily see something down there. There might be a light source, like, you know. You've got some vague idea of how deep, you know, how far down it goes, but you can't really see what's at the bottom. Good. But it is obviously better construction and newer construction than the rest of the facility.
Yeah, elevator shaft goes real deep. My vision gets hazy if I try to look too deep.
Meanwhile, while he's been testing the field, you stealth team, you've been advancing. Two of you give me awareness checks, please.
Righty-ho.
Remember that beat is an 8.
Alright, doable but hard.
Yeah, hard, and then y'all both whoop out 10s. So going through the woods, y'all spot several of those, you know, guns hidden in trees and stuff like that, but you managed to avoid triggering any of them. And you're getting close to the edge of the woods because this facility was built up in a cleared out area. You know, y'all getting close to that, you know. All right, so fair print, something's rising up out of the ground in front of you.
I'm gonna pop up into the air and back up, warn everyone else about it.
And you see your uncle straighten up and shrug, you know, wiggle and shed dirt.
Uncle Viceroy Grubbub, how are you doing?
Oh, it's a good day. He got your GPS coordinates.
Wonderful, wonderful. Wasn't too hard to burrow here, was it?
No. For some reason, their traveling magic works really well with GPS. They're in tune to the Earth. It's a map of the Earth. I don't know. He doesn't know how it works.
Fantastic.
But anyway, him and some of his people are here. Where are we assaulting?
I'll get on the call. We're approaching the area. We're currently approaching the area. We'll know more about. I assume we've been in contact with Muscle.
You could have called him at any point, yes.
Yeah, I relay the information I picked up to Uncle Grubbub.
He goes, "Oh, me and the boys will see how deep that shield goes."
Right.
And he sinks back into the earth.
Now Buzz Muscle. My dear uncle is currently, and his associates are currently surveying the situation with the elevator shaft.
All right. I look at Dyna-man and Indispensable Nightwing. We have trolls digging underground right now to see how deep the shield goes.
Punch out or knockout queen. She looks at you a little funny. Dyna-man just nods. Like, oh, trolls. Okay.
I mean, I'm working with a guy named the Fairy Prince.
Yeah.
It just runs the territory, bleeds over.
And you know from their careers, Dyna-man has probably dealt with weirder stuff than knockout queen. You know, think of Dyna-man as like, you know, typical superhero, probably been on a team at some point. Knockout Queen was like somebody that would run around Gotham. You know, kind of, or Hell's Kitchen, kind of street level.
And a bit more super sportswoman as well, with like the fighting rings and stuff.
Well, she did a round of running around Seattle as an actual superhero as well. So anyway, Grubhub, what was his name again?
Viceroy Grubbub.
Grubhub. So yes, Grubhub and his people will come burrowing back out. And he informs you, the shield only goes down like 20 or 30 feet. You know, it is definitely a dome. So yeah, if you need to get under it, they get you under it. And he tells you however far down that shaft seems to go.
Oh yeah, sure be very helpful if you could create a passage for us.
He just sort of whistles, and the other trolls that are with him start pulling away at dirt. And you get a sloping walkway that kind of slopes down, well, into the dark from where y'all are looking, but and then a little bit later you see him come up in the grass on the other side of the field, almost to the building. I mean, it's they're trying to make the tunnel, you know, not too steep to walk.
Walkable.
Yeah.
Hey.
But as that happens, you see all the primes and really basically everybody except y'all, you know, react to their comms. One of the primes turns to tell you, all right, the robots hit the beach. I was blanking on her name for a second there. Transmuter tried to just start, you know, turning its armor into jello, which was working a little bit at first, and then it popped an energy screen, and her powers aren't getting through to it.
So it's a rather adaptable machine.
Somewhat, anyway.
Any words spoken from it? Any noises from
No, they don't recognize any markings on it other than it's got a big number 13 on its shoulder.
What flavor Jello?
I can ask. Oh, it just.
This is for the player's benefit, not the character's benefit.
Oh. But all right, so you have an entryway into the base. You also have a giant robot hitting the beach. Currently, with only 2 heroes engaging it.
Yeah, I say we head on down.
All right.
Giant robot.
Yeah.
Giant robot. Go ahead.
The primes are going to go break off to help their members on the beach. They'll catch up if they manage to handle the giant robot.
I mean, they fought giant monsters before. It's basically the same thing.
Now, anyone in Fairy Prince, were y'all injured?
Yeah, I'm still a little banged up.
All right, let me pull up Puppet just to see what his healing. All right, so he's got a healing of 4, and you can, and refresh my memory, Tyler. He could hit the same person twice in a day. Does that sound right?
You can hit up to. You can hit up to, I think, twice their willpower. I forget how the healing works exactly.
Okay, we'll look it up then.
It's based on the rank of the power, but I don't remember exactly. You can restore up to twice your power level in stamina to any given subject in an issue.
Okay.
More than that requires a determined effort for each additional power level in stamina you heal.
Okay. Alright, does anybody need more than 4 to get up to full?
Not I, said the fairy prince.
Alright, so he hits you for 4. What kind of shape are you in, anyone? Mike?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
What kind of shape are you in health-wise?
Oh, I've got 4.
Okay, well, Puppet will top you out. He'll hit you with 4, so that gives you... and then Muscle wasn't hurt, and Black Dragon kind of heals on his own fast enough, so... Alright, so the primes move off. You see Dyna-man and Knockout Queen having a conversation. Knockout Queen wants to go with the primes. Dyna-man's telling her, you know, they can handle it. These guys may need help in the base.
If she and Indispensable want to head to the beach, Fairy Prince completely understands. Like, I hate to break up the family dynamic, but sometimes teamwork makes the dream work, and teamwork sometimes means splitting up the team.
She looks at Dyna-man's like, see? And she trucks it off towards the beach. Indispensable was kind of walking slowly and kind of giving his dad a go. He looks like, it's a giant robot. Fine, go.
Go handle Majestic 13. And
Oh
we'll
my
handle
God.
Hellfires. Yeah, we don't have proof that that robot ain't from the professor to kill the Hellfires.
Yeah?
We don't know if they've split off or not. So we gotta make sure that robot doesn't touch down here, because it may have a way of getting through to try to end the Hellfires before we catch the Hellfires.
Alright, so y'all gonna hit through the tunnel?
Yep.
Yep.
Alright. So y'all slip through under the shield up into the facility.
With Dyna-man and Trolls.
Dyna-man and Trolls. So as you come up in the yard, weapon systems flip out over the top from the top of the roof of the thing. Clearly not part of its original design. There's like just a couple of probably AI controlled. I mean, not super tech AI, like real world AI. Controlled, just automated gun turrets, basically. So they start spraying the area. Let's see. Everybody give me, let me give a difficulty roll, and then everybody can give me coordination to get out of the way, or block, or however y'all want to deal with it. Okay, so 7's the number to beat. I ain't gonna hit nobody, am I?
Here we
What was that, Curtis?
if it was an actual dodge or if we just rolled coordination.
Oh, no, roll like an actual dodge. Roll like an actual dodge, I'm sorry. I should have just said dodge. Alright, so 8 was the number to beat. Let's see, Dyna-man has no problem getting out of the way. Fairy Prince gets out. Okay. Eddie, unfortunately, only rolled an 8. So that's half effect. So you take 2 points of damage from a grazing shot. How do y'all plan on? What are y'all doing in response?
Fairy Prince is gonna zip through and dodging gunfire and slice at him with his sword.
Okay, give me a roll. Three is the number to beat.
Wait, what? Hold on, I think I.
You rolled a d6, on which you got a 5,
Subtract.
and then another 5,
That's good.
and then a 4. So are those actually supposed to be the numbers?
Yeah, I had the modifier set wrong. Let me roll
okay.
that. There we go.
Alright, so you rolled a 9. Oh, so the 14 was the one where it was set wrong, then you rolled a 9. And then you rolled a 12 for some reason.
I think the 14 and 9 were double rolls. Because the 12 was the one I had reset for.
No, the bottom 2 were the double rolls. The 9 and the 12,
okay,
because they both get the +3 on it.
Okay.
Alright, so you rolled a 9, which still beats the... Did I say 8 that I rolled?
There's someone up here.
Okay, because that 11 was Dyna-man's roll. My roll before that was a... Oh, no, 3 was what I rolled, because it does not have much of a prowess. It can't do a whole lot of evading. Alright, so that's a massive success. Or, excuse me, a major success. How much damage do you do with your sword?
I do 6 points of damage.
Alright. Then it would get... Okay. So yeah, you run up there and you slice away at it, and you do enough damage to its barrel that it can't shoot anymore.
Yay.
Which one of y'all is the first to go after the other turret? Or to run up and try to get into the building to just avoid it, or, whichever.
I'll just run up and try to crush it.
Alright, so you run up and, jump up there and, mathematically, there's no way it can avoid you, even if you rolled a 1, so... You jump up there with your 8 strength now that you're grown?
Currently 8, yes.
Yeah, you just tear it off the building without any trouble. Crumples up into a little ball. Toss it to the side, whatever. After that, you can advance to the front door without any trouble. There is a notice on the door saying, this is government property, keep out, yeah. Clearly, the sort of rules that you guys would be worried about. And you are starting to hear a ruckus from the beach. Sounds like
they fight the giant robots.
You sound like you're hearing laser fire. It sounds like missiles at one point. Muscle is probably the only person in your group that really regrets not being there.
Yeah, he's gonna want to be in this fight.
Yeah.
Once we get to the
I'll
big
be honest.
bad.
My danger sense only works on humans. Kind of want to stick to fighting humans. Robots throw me off guard.
Dyna-man's just floating behind y'all with his arms crossed. Are we gonna stand there and talk, or are we gonna go in?
We tend to do a lot of talking before we do things, but
We're going.
Sure.
All right, who's opening the door?
I respectfully request that Uncle Grubbub have one of his boys rip down the door.
Viceroy, Uncle Grubbub.
Yes, Viceroy, Uncle Grubbub. That is a mistake the Fairy Prince would not forget. Would not make.
So yeah, one of the trolls runs forward and just... This one isn't, like, he isn't super tall. He's about human tall. But he's got overly long arms, so with one he just slams his hand in the bottom corner of the door, and then the top opposite corner, and just sort of crumples the door in half, or crumples the door like he's bear hugging it almost. Tears it right off its hinges, and then he disappears in a flash of a big explosion.
Oh. When the smoke clears, is there anything remaining? Is he like just little chunks of fricasseed troll?
There's chunks of troll laying around that you would think were rocks, just glancing. Just partly from the rough texture of troll skin, partly from this being the chunks being a little burnt.
I turn to my uncle and remind him this mission was not without risks.
He just looks annoyed.
I'll
I have to write a message to his mother.
I'll handle the doors from now on, I suppose, Viceroy.
That would be appreciated.
We'll continue to move forward.
Yeah, y'all move into the building. Let's see. Yeah, there's no reason the trolls wouldn't go in with you. So the inside of the building, of course, this entryway just right inside the door is wrecked now from the explosion. It doesn't look like the facility's really been used much. There's lots of dust over everything. Except people have obviously been walking this path down this one hallway, where they kicked up the dust. From what you've seen, Musco, this probably leads right back to the elevator.
Sounds like it's time for a third shot of X-ray vision to figure out where I need to be.
Okay. Go
And
ahead.
this will be my last shot.
Your X-ray vision flares up. The rest of you start to see like little trickles of blood out the corner of his eyes.
Yeah, it's starting to hurt a little bit.
And he's blinking his eyes like somebody whose eyes are really dry, but he's focusing. And yeah, you see through the walls, you see where you need to go. The elevator car itself, you don't see anything that looks like a booby trap on it. As far as like more explosives or something like that.
Alright, I'll point out the way we go.
Okay.
Get back to trucking it.
You get to the elevators with no issues. It's just got a button by the door,
Fairy Prince will scooch up to it and, without standing directly in front of the doors, press the call button.
They glide open almost silently.
Is there enough room in there for everybody? Like the team and the trolls and all that?
It'd be a little crowded if y'all try to get everybody in one trip.
Alright,
Not least of which from the smell of troll.
yeah, let's go down in shifts.
I say we go first and then the trolls follow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure we should trust this elevator. It looks too easy, but what the heck.
So y'all climb in. One of Grubhub's men crosses his gangly arms and just looks at, why all the humans get to go first? Why are they all traveling together? Are they?
I offer to ride down with the trolls if they want. We are kin after a fact.
That seems to satisfy the vizier. Gives an eye. That'll be fine, and that seems to mollify his troops somewhat. You know, they just saw one of their buddies blow up, so it's like, why are they making us go by ourselves?
Yeah.
I was offering to go first, just having the explosion happen to me. I didn't mean any disrespect.
The vizier very graciously, acknowledges that no disrespect was taken. You seem to be a very polite young man. And then under his breath, I bet he's good to his mother. And then his eyes cut to Fairy Prince like he's waiting to see if they get a reaction.
I'm just standing there smiling, all innocent like a cherub.
Don't worry, when Fairy Prince's mother is in the same place as mine, I'm sure he'll clean her gravestone too. And I hit the elevator button.
Alright, so Eddie, Anyone, Muscle, and Dyna-man are in the elevator. It starts dropping very rapidly. Muscle, your X-ray vision didn't stay on for very long, so you have no way of knowing how far down you've come when suddenly it comes to a screeching halt. Black Dragon and Anyone kind of have to grab, the handrails on the side to keep their balance. Well, the two super strong guys, it's not really a strain for them. But the elevator just comes to a stop.
It stop at a door or just because it can stop?
The doors aren't opening.
Hug. I'll go ahead and talk out loud for a second. Dear Hellfires, if the professor has betrayed you and is trying to kill you, we will help keep you alive. If not, then I guess this is just the standard. We're going to fight each other. But understand that what y'all were doing before this whole world domination thing, I did not give two shits about, and I will continue to not give two shits about.
Dyna-man just looks at you. He steps forward and pries y'all's door open. And all that's just the middle shaft of the elevator, or the middle of the elevator shaft is all you see on the outside.
Yeah, I got too much blood in my eyes to try to look through walls again. Sorry.
Do we bust through the floor?
Yeah. Basically, Dyna-man looks down just as Eddie is saying that.
Leave enough space for us to stand, just in case it keeps going for a while.
So he gets y'all back into the corner, and then you or him or both of you together or whatever could. Basically, he drives a fist into it, and then from that hole he starts peeling back. So he opens it up in a very controlled fashion. It reminds Muscle, oh yes, this guy is a professional. And a draft comes in, and yeah, you can tell they're still a good long ways down. They probably stopped you about halfway.
Hmm. Is there a chain or pole we can climb down? Or a ladder built into the side of the wall? Not that Eddie needs the ladder, but the others do.
The cabling that hole that attaches to the top and bottom of the elevator, you can get a hold of that and climb down. And of course, Dyna-man can fly.
I say let's go.
So Dyna-man drifts through. You know, if y'all are going to climb, he'll drop down below you so he can catch anybody that falls.
I'll just jump onto the wall and climb down back.
Okay. The wall is pretty slick and smooth. Not a problem for you to crawl on. But like if somebody tried to pull you off of it, it'd probably be easier for them to pull you off than usual. And you can't help but think as you're crawling down that, you know, if they electrified this wall, that'd be really bad too.
Same with the chain.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. So y'all start your way down. It's going to take you a little while to get down there. Up top, you're waiting a long time for this elevator to come back.
See if I can't get him on the comms. Are y'all okay? Are you dead? Did you die on the way down?
It's a little staticky. But since he's standing so close to the top of the elevator shaft, you're getting enough of a signal that y'all can talk.
Elevator jammed. Looks purposeful.
Ah, wonderful. Are any of you able to get it working again from your end, or are you trying to brute force your way down?
I'd say we're brute forcing.
All right, I let Uncle Viceroy Grubbub know. Yeah, the elevator's been sabotaged. I lean over and just start. I assume the elevator doors on my end are closed.
Yes.
Yeah. Should anyone try to restart the elevator? Is there even anything like a control panel I could access?
There's really just the one button that should make it, bring it to the top if it's not already here. Okay. You could pop that off and try to get into the wiring, but
I think that might take too much time.
Okay.
I'll ask the trolls are they okay climbing down an elevator shaft barehanded, or would they like to try and burrow their way down another way, because the elevator's been sabotaged. Our compatriots are fine, but accessing the lower levels is now incredibly inconvenient.
We might have trouble forcing our way through the middle walls down there, but we could always tunnel down there and tap on the wall if one of your guys could tear the wall open.
Oh, there's at least two there that would easily be able to achieve that.
All right, quickly to the outside then. We need bare earth.
All right, I pass along what the plan is to Muscle and the others.
So they go out. One of the junior trolls, starts tunneling. Grubub and the other one kind of position you between them, so they're more or less carrying you through. And where the kind of permanent tunnel they had made for y'all to get into the facility, I mean, it was like packed earth, so it wasn't too nasty. This just feels like dirt's just flowing past you, like on you. You're pretty sure this.
Every bit of my Go ahead.
I was going to say, you're pretty sure the tunnel is probably sealing up behind you.
Yep. Putting every bit of my composure into smiling through it, lips tightly closed.
The rest of you climbing down, it's for anyone, it's tiring, but you're in good physical condition. So you're just hand over handing your way down the cord. For Curtis, it's about like walking. Muscles enhanced strength probably makes it pretty easy for him. You're about halfway down when suddenly you hear the elevator start up again. And as it moves, the guys holding the cords, one of you starts kind of moving up, depending on which one of the cabling, I should say, you were holding on to, where one of you starts moving down at speed as the cable is shifting. You hear Dyna-man, I got it. He zips up above, and basically he slams into the bottom and just, it comes to a halt. I need the two of you holding onto the cables to give me strength rolls to make sure you don't lose your grip with all this jarring. Number to beat is a 7 because I roll minimum. Taylor, was that 11 the one you just rolled?
Yes.
Okay. And then I need a strength roll from anyone. Okay. So it gives you a good, the two of you, you feel a good jerk as the cable started moving and then suddenly jerked to a halt when Dyna-man stops the car. Both of you keep your grip. Y'all manage to get down. As soon as you're out of the elevator shaft, Dyna-man lets go of the car and zips on down. Fairy Prince, you are now standing in like this little bubble of air surrounded by dirt, and dirt's like regularly dropping off of the roof, we'll call it, into your hair.
I'm regularly brushing it off.
Viceroy Grubbub has pulled out something that gives off just a little bit of light. Enough that you can see, like I said, surrounded by dirt, but there's this one like metal wall in front of you, and he's just casually tapping and just, You guys at the bottom of the, now at the bottom, have stepped out of the elevator shaft. You hear this little tapping on the metal walls.
We gotta let them in.
Oh, go ahead and just rip it open for him.
All right. We won't make you roll for it because you'll get it eventually. So yeah, you work a hole open. Fairy Prince looks a fright.
My friend, I'm glad you're all alive.
The trolls just step through and they do almost like a dog shake, and the dirt just falls off of them. I mean, I wouldn't call them clean, but it's not caked on anything.
Yeah.
And their clothing tends to be earthy greens and browns anyway, so. Did you say something, Mike? I saw your lips move, but I didn't hear anything.
Oops, sorry about that.
Okay.
Are we close to wrapping up? It's 5 o'clock in Eastern time, and I have my evening game appointment to get to.
Yes, we were actually going to wrap up just right here with y'all at the.
Okay, great.
Y'all are back together again in the base. While others battle a giant robot on the beach.
Right.
So yes, we wrap here. Next session will be the conclusion of Crimes and Misadventures, as you will confront the Hellfires one last time, and one of your groups is going down. So that should be in 2 weeks. I don't think there's anything weird about 2 weeks from now.
Who lives? Who dies?
Yes and yes.
Who goes out and gets gelato afterwards?
Robot gelato.
All right. See anything else? No, that should be it. Hope y'all had fun playing. I enjoyed running.
Mhm.
Hope
Absolutely.
hope anybody that comes by and watches later enjoyed it. I hope you'll be back in 2 weeks. Again, I was your GM for the day, Jason. And with me was Mike, aka Anyone, Curtis, aka Black Dragon,
Laters.
Zach, aka the Fairy Prince,
Thank you so much for watching.
and Taylor, aka Muscle the Muscle.
See you.
And we'll see y'all next time.